Headlines continues. This is Radio Jamaica. I'm Dion Jacksmiller. We are speaking with Dr. Jephthah Ford, who represented the family of Jodian and Fearon at the post-mortem that took place earlier today. Let me back up a little bit, Doctor. What was the cause identified for her death? Let's begin again with that.
She died from a progressive cardiac failure brought about by the fact that she had a cardiomyopathy. She had this architecture of her heart was not quite right.
And that is a condition. Let me ask this carefully. Is that was it from the post-mortem? Would you be able to have ascertained how long that condition would have likely to have been in with her?
She was born with a condition.
All right, I've heard.
And she would have lived and continued to live if she had had a plan.
No, I'd heard the phrase "hole in the heart."
That is her.
That's what she had?
She had an atrial septal defect.
All right, tell me what's that in English?
It means that between the top part of her heart, there was a hole. And she was born with this hole in the top part of her heart. So we found the hole, and the hole was there.
Now tell me what that means medically.
It means medically that her heart was not 100%. She had survived. She had been going up and down, doing everything that people normally do without any specific things to water. And they should have detected her when she was doing her school medical. But she was up and about. She was looking quite well. In fact, her family didn't even know she had a place in her condition. And she did learn to with her family.
Yes. I understand that pregnancy, by its very nature, is something that would put stress on someone with that particular heart condition. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that once that condition is known, that such a delivery would take place under careful conditions, special conditions.
Dr. Goldman is known that he thought she had a progressive heart failure.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Dr. Goldman?
Dr. Goldman is known that she had a progressive heart failure. And he wondered whether she had a cardiomyopathy. He did. But I didn't say that.
I'm just saying though, sorry, for the purpose of just explaining. If this is something that is known, say this has been diagnosed in a patient, whoever, from before pregnancy, at delivery, there would be a special protocol to
delivery, yes. There is no the doctor knows he better get his act together.
Okay. Now,
I think this patient is going to die.
Alright, so let's go back to where we were now. I had mentioned that the minister has said that the hospitals involved followed protocols. You're saying based on what you've seen in the medical reports, they did not.
They did not.
Alright, so you are saying that based on what you saw in the report, UA declined to take the patient because they said she was critically ill?
No. You understand, the doctor told them she was critically ill.
Oh, her doctor?
Told them she was critically ill.
Right, so what was the reason for UA saying, as Andres has said?
As I understand it, because Dr. Gold, the consultant who was looking after her, was not on staff at the university.
No, when you say as you understand it, meaning what? As you understand it from Dr. Golson or understand it from any?
What I read in the docket.
So what did you see in the docket?
Where different doctors were called, the time they were called, and what their reactions were.
And what were the reactions you were seeing in terms of the
university hospital.
I'm so sorry, I didn't hear that. There was a what?
That they would not take her at the university hospital.
But my understanding, when hospitals refuse a transfer, they usually have a reason. Either they don't have beds or they don't have whatever it is. So what was the reason given for refusing the transfer?
I cannot imagine any protocol that the university would have that would allow them to have a patient who is so critically ill.
I understand, doctor. I'm just trying to ascertain. Hold on. I'm just trying. Hold on, doctor. Dr. Ford, please hold on. I understand your reaction to this and your concern, but I'm just trying to ascertain as closely as we can from the documented evidence what happened. So you're saying you don't know or cannot imagine any reason that you would have refused a transfer. But I'm saying there was nothing that you saw as an explanation.
No.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So why, in the case of Jubilee and Spanish Town, is it your assessment also that those two institutions did not follow protocol?
Jubilee and KPH are expert centers. When you have a patient who is literally dying before you, there's nothing that can excuse you from taking that patient.
We had heard that we had heard that Jubilee had no capacity to do so.
Have you ever been to Jubilee in Crockett and there people sleep on the floor?
No man, make we just walk through this, doctor.
Jubilee and KPH would have been able to take that patient. Would have been able to make.
But you're saying that
critically ill.
But you're saying that based on what?
Because in the docket it described her condition. It's not just to say critically, she had a pulse rate going up to 136, that's 2 times normal. Her oxygen level was 51 versus 91. Her oxygen level was falling.
Tell me what that means. Tell us, interpret that for us.
They were giving her oxygen, and even when she was being given oxygen, her lung capacity, her reading was such that she could not absorb the oxygen. So her blood oxygen levels were falling.
Be on the headlines.
And knowing what you now know, that would have to do with the heart condition that she suffered from?
Well, what I now know is that what they did, what they tried to do, was to bag her. You have seen bagging her. They put the oxygen in her and squeeze the bag and squeeze the bag and squeeze the bag and try to force the lung down so that the oxygen gets going. They were bagging her.
They meaning where? At which institution?
The doctors at Andrews.
Okay.
We're bagging her.
Here's
that meant that every hospital who had the capability cannot have any protocol reason why that patient should refuse their bagging her.
Okay, so let me be clear then. Let me understand. What I'm hearing for you, please correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm hearing for you is that based on what you've seen in the charts, in the medical, what's the phrase? Dockets? Okay. Based on what you're seeing in the documentation of her condition, her vital signs, her condition was so poor, she was so critically ill, that your conclusion is that no hospital should have, certainly not these two major hospitals, that they should not have refused the request for a transfer. Am I correct? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly true.
All right. So
no protocol that they could say that was not breached to refuse the direction.
All right, so to be clear, it's not that you're saying you have direct knowledge of them having breached protocol. You're coming to your conclusion based on the fact that they refuse to transfer or are said to have refused to transfer for whatever reason.
I have been a doctor for 40 years. I know the standard by which doctors must operate.
But
must operate.
Yeah, let's walk through that a little bit more if we could then, and you would appreciate a non-medical person. Many of my listeners are as well. No, and I've had to take people to hospital. We've had conversations about transfers and so on. And what I know we generally hear is that a particular institution can't accept a transfer at a particular point because there are no beds available, and you might keep trying, and then when a bed opens up, then they accept the transfer.
Not when the patient is critically ill in the way this lady was ill. Not when her condition is so bad that it is evident to everybody she was in danger of dying, and she eventually did.
Might a transfer in such circumstances not aggravate the problem she was having?
Yeah,
let's answer that very frankly, yes. You will try as best you can, if you can manage where you are, not to move her. But when she can't manage where you are, when she can't be looked after where you are, when there's no provision for a care where you are, then move her as quickly. So university, which is the major hospital, or KPH, which is the very, very major hospital, or Jubilee, which is the very specially designed to handle pregnant women. And it is only when say by whatever standard is so poor in their protocol that you end up with her at Spanish Town Hospital in an ambulance. Let me tell you something with Jacksonville. They dragged the baby out of her and said that she suffered a third-degree tear in her vagina.
That's why we need a C-section.
You know what it means?
I don't.
It means that she tear from the top of her vagina right through to the anus. To drag the baby out.
In the circumstances that you've described in terms of the condition she was at the time, because we had heard that C-section had initially been, Dr. Golson had said he was initially arranging a C-section that didn't happen for whatever reason. We're hearing different things. She went to Spanish Town where she was delivered vaginally.
I don't think that's why I said, only when they delivered vaginally, you're talking about a nice delivery, the woman pushing the baby.
No, I'm talking about not a C-section.
No, she passed the point where you couldn't section her anymore.
Why is that?
So you had to deliver.
Tell me, why is that? Why would that be?
When the baby reached down to a particular point, you can't, it's a point of no return. You call it that. You have to reach a point of no return.
Okay.
You can't go back up, you have to take it down.
So you're saying even if a C-section might have been warranted,
at that time you have to take
she had waited so long that that was no longer an option, is that it?
That's right. She had to come down. And in coming down, then you don't back have to drag the baby down. And in dragging the baby down, you have to tear everything before there. Tear, that is a continuum, tear it. I want your citizens to understand why I'm so angry. A third-degree tear. And you know, Mr. Jackson, let me calm down and say to you in all fairness. She bled so much. They transfused her 1 full unit of blood and 2 units of packed cells.
Tell me what that means. How unusual is that?
You just the bag of blood.
Yes.
The bag of blood for them. 3 of them. 1 full blood and 2 because she was getting so much in her heart, so much trouble. They take out the fluid out there and pack the cells and give her 2 units of packed cells.
And packed cells are what?
When you take the blood and spill it in a centrifuge, and you take off the fluid out the top, so the sperm and just the cells are left. Because you don't want to give the patient so much fluid because her heart is already showing problems. And that is what they gave her. And that is what he gave her. She led 1 liter of blood from her vagina afterwards. I want you to know what I'm talking about. As a permission of the family, they say, go and you can speak to it because I know that you are very upset as I am.
So it's...
Let me come to the doctor, Jim. I could only see them. I tell the lawyer, go to court and get the copy, get it, so that people can be horrified when they're published.
Tell me what role delay would have played.
One, they were past the point of no return in the section. 2, if the baby started to have distress now, and the question is going to arise, because it's not it. If as a result of what has happened is a birth trauma, the baby is mentally retarded.
The Jamaican public has been very disgruntled in regards to what happened to Jodian and Fearon in the past few days. The family had hired a doctor, Dr. Ford, and he went on nationwide and had highlighted as to exactly what happened to Jodi. So he has given a synopsis of her last few hours before she passed on. What happened was a very unfortunate series of events wherein which one hospital, Andrews Memorial Hospital, they were scheduled to do operation on Jodi, but because they didn't have the necessary tools at hand, they decided to send her to University Hospital of the West Indies, who refused her, and then they tried Jubilee Hospital, who also refused her, So no one would have taken this Fearon to perform the operation. And those hours that she or days that she was boxing around for cost her her life. So in my opinion, Jody died because of due negligence of our supposed Ministry of Health facilities. Now heads must roll. I believe that heads must roll for this because I am of the opinion that this isn't the first time that something like this has happened, but it is the first time that it has been highlighted in this magnitude. Now, we know what type of country Jamaica is, and if you have a household name or you're politically affiliated with whichever political party, you know that things are often, more often than not, swept under the rug. But I'm hoping that for this particular one, and from here onwards, nothing will be swept under the rug, and persons should be called to justice and held responsible for their actions. It would appear that all hospital protocols have been thrown to the window now, because here you have University Hospital of the West Indies and Jubilee trying to blame Andrews Memorial Hospital, and Andrews Memorial Hospital is not having it, and so they have spilled the beans as to what took place. Alright? Now, Jody was brought to Spanish Town Hospital and they tried to deliver well, they did deliver the baby. But if you listen to what Dr. Ford has said, I mean, can you imagine ripping out a child from a woman's vagina? How on earth it is that they ripped out the baby and not slit her vagina? I don't understand. And I don't even want to imagine the sort of pain and trauma that Jody must have gone through during those hours or however long it took to deliver that baby. Because dragging out a child from a vagina can be no easy task, and therefore ripping her, and they ripped her so badly that she lost how many liters of blood. Imagine that. Imagine after going through that ordeal at Spanish Town Hospital, then you're sent to the University Hospital of the West Indies, where Jody was. And she was there. And to imagine that Jody was on the floor for over 20 minutes and no one saw or came to her aid. Can you imagine the amount of pain she must have been going through for her to end up on the floor? I'm here thinking that she ended up on the floor trying to seek help and trying to get someone's attention, because she must have somehow felt death creeping or calling at her door. So she tried to crawl to her own assistance, and no doctor came to her aid. In my opinion, this equates to torture. This is blatant torture. From the baby being ripped from wherever to her going to University Hospital and being there and no one attending to her. Because they said they saw tear marks on her face when she died. So you can just imagine pain, trauma, and all of that. For her to be going through that alone and no one was there to try to comfort her. My question is this: why is the University Hospital of the West Indies refusing to hand over the medical report to Jodian's family. What is it that they're hiding? What is it that they don't want the family members or the public to see? I'm waiting to see justice, or no, I'm waiting to see if the government is going to sweep this one under the rug.